up the portions.
Seven portions.
Yeah, Shabath.
Portion.
Hmm?
The portion.
No, the aliyot. The seven from the site. I ain't gonna be able to get it from there though.
Same upside.
So we could have used your help just now. Actually, get that portion. He's having a hard time finding it. Sometimes you gotta step in there. How that administrative authoritative. Uh-uh. Should have it right here. Bottom of it. This is a cool true cuts. I show 19 verse 1 through 17. Amaria. Just have you stand right here and read it. Right. Another. Amadwa. Barakwa. Yabarakaka and how about Shemi Hawashah. Right. So Numbers chapter 19, verse 1 through verse 1 through 17. And you do 18 through 26, chapter 20, verse 6. 18 through 20, verse 6. Numbers 19, 18 through 26. Go ahead and read.
Yahweh spake unto Moshe and unto Aharon, saying, Ordinance of the law which Yahweh hath commanded, saying, Speak unto the children of Yash'ala, that they bring thee a red heifer.
So when he says children of Yash'ala, remember he's saying, what's he saying? Banya Yash'ala. Okay? He's saying Banya Yash'ala. So he's saying, speaking to the Banya Yash'ala. I need everybody, if you don't got a book, pay attention to the reader. Have a habit of starting to look at nails and pick stuff off the skin and play with toes and stuff, and don't do that. Pay attention to the reading. Go ahead.
A red heifer without spot, wherein is no blemish, and upon me, which never came yoke. And you shall give her unto Eleazar the priest, that he may bring her forth without the camp. And one shall slay her before his face. And Eleazar the priest shall take off her blood with his finger. Take off her blood with his finger, and sprinkle off her blood directly before the tabernacle of the congregation 7 times.
So this is very ritualistic. You're taking this heifer, you're killing the red heifer, and then you sprinkling the red heifer's blood. All right. And I think what a lot of people gotta understand is that the God that we serve, Yahweh, he likes bloodshed. He wants things to be killed for him. So this little fantasy, imaginary God that wants to just splash kids in a pool all day, he don't exist. Or like the Most High sitting around the heavens with the angels playing Marco Polo. He don't exist, right? When you read in the scriptures and you look at the gods of old, they were gods of vengeance, of war, of death, but of mercy and compassion toward their people if you did the right thing. And that's how Yahweh is. That's the only true God is Yahweh. So this red heifer, he's given us laws about the red heifer to perform certain rituals, to perform certain things that he's going to need for us to do in the future. Okay? All right, go ahead. Verse 5.
And one shall burn the heifer in his sight, her skin and her flesh, and her blood with her dung shall he burn.
So they took the red heifer, the carcass of the dead animal, the dead cow, and they burned the whole thing. They burned the whole thing. Just lit the whole thing on fire. Go ahead.
And the priest shall take cedar wood and hyssop and scarlet, and cast it into the midst of the burning of the heifer.
Now the scarlet is what? Scarlet is a cleanser and it purges your body. Okay? Scarlet is a cleanser and it purges your body. And then the scarlet was expensive. It's like an expensive red dye that came from a natural source. Very, very extremely expensive, right? Expensive. And then the cedar wood, what is cedar wood good for? Cedar wood is good for because it gives you good protection against pestilence, right? Because animals, a lot of the insects don't like the way that cedar wood smells. So everything Yahweh is telling us to do, when you look in our world, it kind of has a use or a kind of a purpose, or it's significant in some way. Go ahead.
Then the priest shall wash his clothes, and he shall bathe
his flesh in water, and afterward he shall come into the camp, and the priest shall be unclean until the evening. All right, read verse 8.
And he that burneth her shall wash his clothes in water, and bathe his flesh in water, and it shall be unclean until the evening.
Unclean, that word's supposed to be tama'ah. That means that person can't come into contact with anything that's holy, with anything that's tahar. Okay, that means that person has to be kept away from everybody and other things until the sun goes down. Okay, particularly on a holy day or dealing with holy type of vessels. All right, go ahead.
And a man that is clean shall gather up the ashes.
A man that is tahar, meaning he's not tama'ah. Okay, go ahead.
Ashes of the heifer,
Uh-huh.
and lay them up without the camp in
Mm-hmm.
a clean place.
Now look, don't start getting into like sleepy positions. You relax it with your head down. All right, you like this, and you can't get in sleepy positions. Stay in wake positions. All right, we have to have practices when everybody just sits still awake for like 2 hours until people learn how to stay awake. Because what happens is your body not so used to having something moving in front of your eyes or doing something with your fingers that when you got to sit still and listen like a normal human being, you can't do it. Your body wants to go to sleep now because it's bored. It's not used to the discipline of sitting still listening. All right. So sitting still and listening is an art. It's a skill that you have to acquire. All right. So now a clean person takes it.
They shall be kept for the congregation and the children of Yasha'Allah for the water of separation. It is a purification for sin.
Now the waters of separation were made with this red heifer, right? And when they made the water of separation for the red heifer, I mean this is a very significant use of this red heifer. You kill this animal, you're gonna use the animal for a specific purpose. All right, go ahead.
And he that gathereth the ashes of the heifer shall wash his clothes and be unclean until even.
So this water separation was used to purify things. Like if we went to war and we saw stuff that we wanted sometimes, we could take the metal and put the metal through the fire. And once the metal went through the fire, we mixed the ashes of the heifer with water. Okay? And then we would sprinkle that water onto those things that we took from the people we went to war with. What else was the ashes of the red heifer used for? Anybody remember? The woman, right? Wasn't it used for the woman? It was from the dust, but wasn't it something with the red heifer too? We'll check it out. All right, go ahead.
And be unclean until even the children of Yasha'Allah.
The number chapter.
And unto the stranger that sojourneth among them for a statute forever.
Has died. Now this is the use of the red heifer. We're gonna see how the red heifer gets used on this chapter right here. All right. So if you touch the body of a person that's dead, so if you work with dead bodies to get people buried, you become tama'ah. That means that you can't deal with things that means you can't prepare foods that are going to be used for these types of, because those things are events that are holy, that are kodash, and something that's tama'ah cannot be mixed with something that's tahar. Okay, read.
He shall purify himself with it on the third day, and on the seventh day he shall be clean. But if he purify him not himself the third day, then the seventh day he shall not be clean.
So with that water, you take it's going to tell us what to do, but you have to get purified on the third day of you touching the body, and on the seventh day. Okay. So when you're dealing with a dead body, you don't know what kind of chemicals. Even science has proven, not that we need science to tell us, but even science has proven that when a person's body doesn't have life in it anymore, and all the organs and stuff, the heart stuff, there's chemicals that the body gives off. When the animal dies, there's chemicals that the body starts to release. The spirit is no longer in that person, and that's why it's not moving anymore. All right, so it starts to release all of the chemicals and all of the inside the body. All right, the chemicals and the little small organisms start to leave and release the body or eat the body up. So this is all happened. So Yahweh said, you went around a dead body. He said, you would tama'ah for 7 days. Can you read?
Whosoever toucheth the dead body of any man that is dead, and purifieth not himself, defileth the tabernacle of Yahweh.
So when we were in the wilderness, if you didn't get purified and you went by that dead body, then the tabernacle was among us at the center. So you would defile the tabernacle, make the tabernacle a unclean thing. Read.
And that soul shall be cut off from Yahweh.
You see, the Most High would destroy that person's soul. That's how important these laws about dead bodies were. He would destroy that person's soul. Read.
Because the water of separation was not sprinkled upon him, he shall be unclean. His uncleanness is yet upon him.
And that's why we need Yahushua. Because Yahushua now is that atonement that sprinkles us when we go near these dead bodies. Now we still do the hyssop and we still do the water, but we don't have the red heifer and we don't have the we can't do that type of service. But we can still do the water that gets put into the hyssop. And when we get the water that gets put into the hyssop, Yahweh, through Yahushua, helps us get clean now. Okay, go ahead.
This is the law. When a man dieth in a tent.
So the man dies in a tent, or a man dies in a what? In a contained area. All right, an enclosed area. So he dies in a tent. Read.
All that come into the tent and all that is in the tent shall be unclean 7 days.
That's why it's a difference if somebody dies outside or if they die in an inside area, like a tent. Anybody that comes into the place where that person dies at is unclean for what?
7 days.
So what happens when they bring a person into a lobby of an emergency room, and then I go into that lobby the next day? I'm unclean. I'm unclean. Okay? I'm unclean for 7 days. And that's why we don't know what's going on in a lot of these hospitals. And they have circulation systems. But sometimes the circulation systems are cut off. It's really like a big city with walls and ceilings what a hospital is. It's a big city. Has thousands and thousands of people in there all the time, right? Nurses, doctors, patients, and workers. And then visitors. Okay? Visitors. So during all of this process, people die inside the hospitals. Okay? When you have if a doctor murders a baby and somebody goes into that abortion clinic and cleans, that baby is that clinic is unclean for 7 days. It stays unclean. And they say it, they want to say it nicely, abortion. No, it's not an abortion, it's a murder that the doctor is doing. The doctor is murdering a living creature. He's murdering something that has a soul. Okay, he's murdering something that has a soul. So if you go into a hospital once again, and a baby is stillborn, then it's 7 days unclean. You go into some operations and stuff too. Somebody dies. Okay. Plus, there's a morgue at the hospital, right? A morgue is a place where they keep the dead bodies at the hospital. So the whole hospital is always really unclean. Now you might have different wings, like a chemo wing or apart from something, but and really you get into the whole ventilation system. Is the air from over here on a different system than the air from over here? So you got to be really careful about where you go when you're dealing with things that could die in that place. Okay, go ahead.
In every open vessel.
Every open vessel. So something that has the top, but the top isn't on it, or something that can be covered and it's not covered. Go ahead.
Which has no covering down upon it is unclean. And whosoever touches one that is slain with a sword in open fields.
So if a guy comes at me, he tries to kill me, and I kill him and cut him with my sword. But on the outside, I want to check his stuff. See, man, who is this guy just trying to kill me? Who is this guy? Okay. Trump Jr. Got to tell his parents I killed their son for trying to kill me. But I touched his body to get the ID. Read.
or a dead body,
Uh-huh.
or a bone of a man,
Uh-huh.
or a grave, shall be unclean 7
So when you
days.
go to a graveyard, when you want to hug your person that died one last time, all right? When you touch a person, that's that we read in Ezekiel chapter 38, right? We're going to be burying the dead bodies. So once we finish burying those dead bodies, what happens is we become unclean for 7 days. When you bury a dead body, when you touch a dead body, when you touch the bone of a man, when you go to a grave site, when you go to a graveyard. So when you go into the Taj Mahal in India, you can lay it right there, in New Delhi, that's a place where the woman is buried at. Okay. When you go into some of these churches and mosques, they're graveyards. People are buried underneath of these things. All right. When you go into a lot of churches, they have people buried inside of the it's right here. You got people buried on the ground floor of these churches and stuff. Or the church sits in the middle of a cemetery. So it's not supposed to be like that. Or better yet, how about this one? They have a funeral inside the church. Then a couple of days later, they have a church service. That's unclean. You see that? That's unclean. If somebody needs more space, nah. That's unclean. You see? Now read the next verse.
And for the unclean person, they shall take of the ashes of the burnt heifer.
So you have to take the ashes of the burnt heifer. Now we don't have these ashes now. I mean, technically, you could kind of do that now, but you couldn't really, because there was something that was done. The ashes was done by Eleazar. But now after those ashes ran out, because the ashes gonna run out, right? After the ashes run out, unless they use like a little teeny microscope, well, not microscope, just a little teeny. It don't say how much ashes, just a little bit of ashes, right? But this originally was done by Eleazar, who was part of that service, part of that process. Read that again.
And for an unclean person, they shall take of the ashes of the burnt heifer of purification for sin, and running water shall be put thereto in a vessel.
So the running water gets put into the vessel. Running water means what? Water that's alive, that's living, that comes from nature. Water has rainwater. Even if it's a lake is living water because rainwater comes into it, or a river, or a stream. Okay, or a stream. That's life in it and stuff. Okay. And generally, it's preferable to have living water from a moving source. Okay. Or like a moving source, like I said, a stream or a creek. Okay. A river. Okay. Go ahead. So you take the body becomes unclean. The person that touches the body or the person that becomes unclean, they have to take the ashes and mix the ashes with water. Okay? And then that water gets put into a vessel. You got water in the vessel, and then you take the ashes and it all gets mixed together. All right, now Adiyashan is going to pick up from chapter 19, verse 18 to chapter 20, verse 6, right? Read from over here too. Amanwa, Barakwa, Yablaka Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, Amashiyah. Yablaka Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, Yablaka Yahweh. All right, so Numbers chapter 19, verse 18 through Numbers chapter 20, verse 6. Read loud.
And a clean person shall take hyssop and dip it in the water and sprinkle.
So the water has the ashes of the heifer, and you dip it into the water. Go ahead.
And sprinkle it upon the tent, and upon all the vessels, and upon the persons that were there, and upon him that touched the bone, or one slain, or one dead, or a grave.
So wherever that uncleanness takes place at was transferred to, and wherever the source is, okay? The person that touched the bone, the person that touched the dead body, the vessels that were inside of the house when the person died, okay, and inside the tent, and the tent itself. All right, go ahead.
And the clean person shall sprinkle upon the unclean on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day, and on the 7th day he shall purify himself.
So even though we don't have the hyssop, even though we don't have the ashes of the red heifer now, we have the hyssop, and we have we have water, we have clean water, so we can still do this service, but we don't have the red heifer, and this is not a sacrifice. This is water being sprinkled that the Most High told us to do. All right, go ahead.
And wash his clothes and bathe himself in water, and he shall be clean at even. But the man that shall be unclean and shall not purify himself, that soul shall be cut off from among the congregation.
So that soul gets cut off. The Most High is going to make sure that soul gets destroyed, killed. Go ahead.
Because he hath defiled the sanctuary of Yahweh. The water of separation hath not been sprinkled upon him. He is unclean. And it shall be a perpetual.
A what?
Perpetual.
Meaning it shall be something we're supposed to do forever. Go ahead.
It shall be a perpetual statute unto them, that he that sprinkleth the water of separation shall wash his clothes, and he that toucheth the water of separation shall be unclean until even.
So wash the clothes and be unclean until the evening. So if you're unclean and I sprinkle you with the water when I dip the hyssop in, then I have to wash my clothes and I'm clean until the evening. I'm unclean. Then I'm unclean. That's unclean. Okay, Salakla. Then I'm unclean. I'm tama'ah until the evening. Go ahead.
And whatsoever the unclean person toucheth.
Now check this out. Now this is what happens when you go to a funeral, or when you go to a grave site, or when you have a dead person. You want to be an archaeologist. You want to be digging through the graveyards of people, seeing what they ate, doing tests. Esau just a nosy devil, man. He's just nosy. So we're going to look in the digestive tracts. We're going to see what remains of what chemical remains, because it's a breakthrough in science. He's just nosy, man. Why do you care what these people ate, bro? Like, because once we know their diet, we can tell where they migrated from. Okay. Africans came from Africa. They used to live someplace else before they got here. You can tell that stuff without going at people's digging in their bones and their stomachs and guts and stuff. But that's what they do. But if you touch that dead body, you touch that person's bone, if you went to the graveyard, if you go to a funeral, if you come to my funeral, all right? And if somebody chopped off one of my hands, and he said, man, this is Abba's hand, this is Parazah's hand, and you bring the hand and say, hey, put the hand back on, and I'm dead now, okay? Then you unclean for 7 days. And now if you are unclean because you've been around, you dealt with death, read verse 22 again.
And whatsoever the unclean person toucheth,
whatever you touch as an unclean person that went to a funeral, read,
shall be unclean, and the soul that toucheth it, even it shall be unclean until even.
You see that? But now I'm only unclean until the even. Well, I'm already dead. So then you touch me, you're unclean for 7 days. But then if you touch somebody else, that person is unclean until the even. You see that? So the Most High had banned like 3 different degrees. Of course, the dead person, I'm unclean. Then when you touch me, you tama'ah. And then whoever you touch, you tama'ah for 7 days. And then you touch him, then he's tama'ah for a day until sunset. But then whoever he touches, that person is not called tama'ah. So it stops at the second person after the dead person or after the bone. So you have to be careful when you're dealing in public. And that's why you don't know who's coming from a funeral when you're on the bus, when you shake people's hands in public. That's why you got to bathe, especially every day. And then bathe, especially on the Sabbath. Because you have to be clean on the Sabbath. And if we have sin on us, knowingly or unknowingly, then the Holy Spirit is not going to deal with us. The Holy Spirit will deal with us and give us understanding on how to be clean. The Bible says that he that keepeth the law, he shall get the understanding thereof. Okay? So once we keep it, we get the understanding. Now we know how to do things in a certain way where we can become clean, Mayana Shabi. Levantate. Where we can become clean. Now we know. So if I'm out and I'm catching the bus on the Shabath or on a weekday, when I come on first, I'm gonna be like, man, I gotta wash up. Why? Because I don't know if I sat behind somebody that was on there that was like on a period that just came from a funeral, or somebody that just came from a place where somebody died. Okay. So for 7 days, if I was in India, when I was in India, I went to it was like a funeral, but the woman, it was the brother I was with, he had a co-worker, and they were going to be doing a burying service for this lady. Now they were Hindu, so they had the pyre. It was like a pyre. They had like the person was surrounded by all kinds of wood, and they put a flammable liquid, maybe oil, around all of that wood, and then they lit it on fire and they burned the body. Okay, so that's a funeral. Stand up. That's a funeral that I went to. All right, that's a funeral that I went to. All right, so once I went to that funeral, I became unclean for 7 days. And if I touched you, then you became unclean for a day. All right, but over there was no hyssop. There was no hyssop, so I was just unclean. Okay, so now you got to pray, Yahweh, forgive me. Accept my prayer as atonement, my sacrifice of praise to forgive me for this uncleanness that is upon me that I cannot cleanse myself of. So you can't just ignore it. You can't just say, well, I'm in captivity. I can't do nothing about it. Or I don't know how to handle it. Or I'm in captivity, so it does. No, you got to do Yahweh's law to the best that you can do. Stand up, girl. You got to do it the best that you can. You can't just overlook it. Everybody, you can't just overlook it. You can't just overlook it. You can't just overlook it and pretend like, oh, it don't matter. We in captivity. We under grace. All right, keep going.
Kal Shara.
Kala Shara.
The body Yahweh.
The body Yahweh.
Na Aisha.
Na Aisha.
Wa Na Shema.
Wa Na Shema.
All that Yahweh said.
All that Yahweh said. We're doing here. So death is always going to be around us. You can't escape death. So that's why you have to constantly keep yourself in the state of bathing your body, cleansing your body, putting water on your body, living water. Okay, as opposed to water that's been taken, reused, and recycled. Okay, recycled and purified. Okay, are you awake now? Why don't you wait for her to come out? Come here. All right, so you're constantly going to be around death. So you always have to make sure that you are putting yourself in a position to become clean and to be clean. Okay? Particularly bathing around sunset. Okay? Go ahead. Numbers 20:1.
Then came the children of Yasha'Allah, even the whole congregation, into the desert of Zin in the first month.
Uh-huh.
And the people abode in Kadesh, and Miriam died there and was buried there. And there was no water for the congregation.
So Miriam died. Miriam died at Kadesh, right? Miriam died in Kadesh. Which Kadesh is the same word as Kodash. Okay, holy, get like this, and then like this, or sanctified, set apart. Go ahead.
And there is no water for the congregation.
So we had no water to drink. So the Most High just gave us laws about water and purification, and now we don't even have water to drink. Nos falta agua para tomar. Nos falta agua para limpiarnos. Nos falta agua para purificarnos también. Read.
And they gathered themselves together against Mashah and against Aharon.
And now people are coming against Moses and Aaron. Now this is a recurring theme. Every time you want to go to leadership and do something about the problem to like get at them. But what do you never see? You never see, well, Moses, how can I help solve this problem? You see, everybody wants to complain about what Moses is doing, not having water. But how many people step to Moses like, hey, Moses, how can I help us? Is there a way you got, we think you can put our heads together and see about getting some water? About if the Most High maybe wants to give us some water or something? I mean, that's your man. Maybe you can talk to him and we can get some water out this joint, man. With all due respect. Nobody did that. You see, the first thing people think, stay away from this area. Sit down right here. The first thing people think about is, I'm going to go complain, or I'm going to go talk about him, or I'm going to go come against him when you're dealing with leadership. People don't never think about, how can I help this person that's in leadership do a better job than they're doing? You see that? Nobody ever does that. All these Israelites, they always say, well, Moses, you need to go. What you gonna do? Just complain. All right? Can't hide. All right, read.
Numbers chapter 20, verse 3. And
y'all can get yourself manicures after we finish reading. All right, go ahead.
And the people chode with Mashas and spake, saying, with Elohim that we had died when our brethren died before Yahweh.
They said, man, we wish we would have died in Egypt. We wish we would have died in this wilderness. They're wishing they would have died instead of being thirsty. Because they want water. All right, go ahead.
And why have you brought up the congregation of Yahweh into this wilderness, that we and our cattle should die there? And wherefore have ye made us to come up out of Egypt to bring us into this evil place? If seed or figs or vines or pomegranates, neither is there any water to drink.
So they're gonna name specific. Oh, we don't got. Why you gotta name specific food? See, that's how you showing they just being anal, just being idiots. And that's how Black and Latino people are. Not like, Moses, we don't got no food, man. Give us some food. Not like, Moses, we ain't got no grapes. We don't got no figs. We don't got no plátanos. Ceviche. All right? We don't have no birria. We don't have no pastelillos. We don't have no pasteles. We don't have no nopales. You're going to give specific food that you don't got. Instead of, yo, Moses, we hungry, bro. We thirsty. Like, yo, you thirsty, but why you bringing up Egypt and pomegranates? Why can't you just tell me I'm thirsty? Can I get some water? That's like we on a walk, and you're like, man, I'm thirsty. I wish I would have died. We don't got no oranges. We don't got no apples, no bananas. And I'm like, here's some water. Problem solved, right? Or better yet, why don't we pray to the Most High? Now, the Most High, he just made quails fall from the sky, right? He made quails fall from the sky. He killed the firstborn of all the little African babies in Egypt. So we know he got power, right? He divided the water. He changed the water in Egypt to blood. All the water changed to blood, right? Is it a hard thing for this same Yahweh to give us a little bit of water when we thirsty? So why don't we just ask him for the water? You see, black people, Latino people, they want to complain about stuff. Why don't you try to solve the problem instead of always complaining about the problem? If the problem is the police is shooting black and Latino people, carry a gun. And when the police try to shoot one of your brothers or your sisters, you shoot them back. Problem solved. What they gonna do? Shoot every black and Hispanic person? Every black Latino person? You see that? See, you've been taught, and even we see in Egypt, coming out of Egypt, we always want to complain about the problem. You help to solve the problem by somebody that can solve the problem. And when is ever telling the police, telling the news media, when is you posting a video on Facebook ever solve the problem about the police murdering our people? Never. How do you stop people from killing people that you don't want to die? You kill them. Problem solved. Problem solved. So if I see somebody trying to kill my family, my brother or my sister, I'm not going to stand there with my phone and record it. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to look for something, if I don't have a gun, and I'm going to pop that person upside their head. That's what I'm going to do. I promise to God. I promise on everything. I'm not going to sit there recording it. I'm going to get a good angle. I'm going to find something. And I'm going to hit that person on their head. That's what I'm going to do. If I got to go into the dollar store and buy me a lighter and buy me a can of aerosol deodorant spray, I'm going to spray they behind. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to sit there recording it. I'm going to upload this now, recording it. Somebody sitting there dying, and you recording it. You and 30 other people. When if all 30 of us said, look, we're going to walk up to this dog, this devil, this pig, whatever you want to call it. And at that point, you cease from being a good human being when you try to unjustifiably murder somebody. Okay? We're going to all 30 walk up to that person and say, yo, stop beating this person, or you're going to have to shoot all 30 of us. Those are two options. Stop shooting the person, and you call for somebody else to deal with this situation because we don't like how you handling it, or all 30 of us is going to attack you. So you can't just go back to beating that person now. Now all 30 of us is distracting you now. If you hit that person again, we're going to attack you. And if it's 3 of y'all out there, three more police come, okay, well, same deal. All 30 of y'all, all 30 of us going to have to get shot by y'all, or y'all going to have to just deal with the situation a different way. All right? What happened is black and Latino people, they forgot the type of God they serve. That the God they serve is a man of war. All right? The first miracle he showed the children of Israel was, watch this. I'm going to turn the water to blood, y'all. You really think that that's the type of God we serve, that once you sit back recording it with your camera? He said, I'm going to turn the water to blood. I'm going to make everybody itch. I'm going to give all of them lice. I'm going to give them boils on their skin so they can't sit down and stand up. I'm going to make the whole country dark and make them scared for 3 days. Are you someone listen? Okay. I'm going to kill all the little, anybody that was the firstborn from their father, I'm going to kill you. That's what he did. So that same God, Yahweh, is supposed to be, and the reason that our people ain't thinking to defend themselves is because the God of Israel is not inside of them. It's some other God that's dwelling in our people. Because King David, Solomon, Moses, they would have never allowed somebody to be getting beat, killed, shot at with their eyes seeing it and not do nothing about it. Okay, we talk about how many we kings and we priests. Well, what's a king and a priest do when their people get murdered? They act. They do something about it. So we as a nation, we as a people have to organize ourselves righteously according to the Bible in judges and officers in our gates. So when things happen, we're ready to act on it. But right now we have no discipline. Nobody wants to tell anybody what to do. Nobody wants to do what they're being told to do. And everybody's doing their own thing. Stop. You keep getting this little sleepy positions, man. Get back where I had you at. All right? Can you see the reader? Situate yourself so you can see the reader. Or can you see me when I'm speaking? Situate yourself so you can see me when I'm speaking too. So this is all things being done. All right, so we got to situate ourselves so that we know that we can help ourselves when we start to get in trouble. All right, what verse we in?
Verse 6.
All right, now they're complaining against Moses. Oh, we don't got no water. All right, we don't got no place to plant no seeds. We don't got no figs, no vines, no pomegranates, and on top of that, we ain't got no water. You see that? Okay, go ahead.
And Moshe and Aaron went from the presence of the assembly into the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and they fell upon their faces, and the glory of Yahweh appeared unto them.
So they said, man, let's go before the Most High again. Again. So sometimes when people complaining, running their mouth, just being plain old stupid, it's better not to even say nothing to that person until you seek counsel from the Most High and from His Word. Not to respond to idiots. Not to respond to people saying stupid stuff, complaining about the Most High's work in the Bible. Well, why would we even have the laws if people ain't gonna keep them? You see? So when they get in that sort of mindset, sometimes it's better, okay, let's deal with this person from the word of the Most High. Let's deal with this person from the scriptures. Let's deal with this person from what thus saith Yahweh. Okay? So now, you see if Kahan's gonna read for us.
Ban Parzah, Ban Gad, Ban Yashala.
Amadwa, Barakwa,
The work come up Hashem Yahushua.
Yabarak Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. All right, so we in chapter 20, verse 7 through 13. You know, you got another after that, right? 7 through 13. And then after that, well, 7 through 13, there's one aliyat. And then we're going to do 14 through 21. So, let me see something. All right.
And Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, take the rod.
Now the same rod that he used to split the water, the same to what? To the water in Egypt. Then he hit the water in Egypt, put the rod in the water in Egypt, and that's when it turned into blood, right? So it's the same rod that's been doing all these miracles now. Go ahead.
And gather thou the assembly together.
So get everybody together, everybody, man, woman, and child. Read.
Thou and Aharon thy brother, and speak ye unto the rock.
And what?
Speak ye unto
and
the
speak
rock.
To the rock. But Moses is going to do what? He's going to hit the rock because he was angry with the people. He didn't speak to it, he hit it. And Yahweh said to talk to the rock. He didn't say hit it with the stick. He didn't say talk to the hand. He said speak to the rock. Right? Not the rock Dwayne. All right, go ahead. Speak to the rock. Go ahead.
Before their eyes,
Uh-huh.
and it shall give forth his water.
So it's gonna give forth water. Read.
And thou shalt bring forth to them water out of the rock.
Uh-huh.
So thou shalt give the congregation and their beasts drink.
So now we're gonna give you something to drink when the water comes from the rock. So now the problem is going to be solved. Read.
And Mashah took the rod from before Yahweh, as he commanded him.
Uh-huh.
And Mashah and Aharon gathered the congregation together before the rock.
Uh-huh.
And he said unto them, Hear now, ye rebels, must we fetch you water out of this rock? And
so first of all, bro, you, with all due respect, Mashah, it's not you that's doing it, it's Yahweh. Right? That's the first thing. Right. Second of all, you sound like you kind of really upset. So you really shouldn't be upset when you're trying to obey the words gave you to do to help the people to deal with the issue on a problem that they was complaining about. So don't do the work of Yahweh what? Begrudgingly. Do it with joyfulness and gladness of heart when you serve Yahweh. Okay, read.
And Mashah lifted up his hand.
Shabbat Shalom Denisa. Mashah lift up his hand, go ahead.
And with his rod, he smote the rock twice.
He hit the rock not once, but twice. And Yahweh told him to what? Speak to the rock. Go ahead.
And he said unto them,
Uh-huh.
And the water came out abundantly, and the congregation drank, and the beast also.
Go ahead.
And Yahweh spake unto Mashah and Aharon, Because ye believe me not to sanctify me in the eyes of the children of Yasha'Allah, therefore ye shall not bring this congregation into the land which I have given them.
So he said, because you did this, you ain't gonna enter into the land of Egypt. So a very, very small, something you think is a small sin or a small mistake or a small level of disrespect, it could be a big price that you have to pay for doing that thing. A big price, bigger than you want to pay. So be obedient in everything the Most High words have told us to do. Everybody in authority have told you to do something, do it the way that it's supposed to be done. Because one little mistake, and you could lose the reward that you've been waiting for. Go ahead.
This is the water of Meribah, because the children of Yasha'Allah strove with Yahweh, and he was sanctified in them.
Meribah meaning strife, or argumentative, or like a contest of who's right and who's wrong, or who's gonna win. Go ahead.
Verse 14. And Mashah sent messengers from Kadesh unto the king of Adawam.
Mm-hmm.
Thus saith thy brother Yasha'Allah, thou knowest all the travail that hath befallen us.
Okay, so they're going to the Edomites. Okay. Go ahead.
How our fathers went down into Egypt, and we have dwelt in Egypt for a long time, and the Egyptians vexed us and our fathers. And when we cried unto Yahweh, he heard our voices, saying, Angel, and hath brought us forth out of Mount Zarium.
So we said, yo, we tell them all the good things the Most High did to us. Read.
And behold, we are in Kadesh, a city in the uttermost of thy border. Let us pass, I pray thee, through thy country. We will not pass through the fields or through the vineyards, neither will we drink of the water of the wells. We will go by the king's highway, and we will not turn to the right hand nor to the left until we have passed our borders.
So we told the Edomites, let us pass through your borders. We ain't gonna take nothing. We ain't gonna drink no water. We're gonna go to the fields. We're gonna stay on the highway. We're not gonna go left or right. And Edom was like, nah. Go ahead.
And Edom said unto him, Thou shalt not pass by me, lest I come out against thee with the
You
sword.
see that? So right now, we see, remember, the children were struggling together within Rebekah's womb in Genesis 25 and 25. So like Esau and Jacob, they coming together now. Now both of them kind of like nations now. We wasn't a nation when we went into Egypt. It was 70 descendants of Jacob. So now what's happening is what? Is that Edom is saying, nah, y'all can't pass through us. So the Most High have already started using the white people, the ancient Edomites, to punish us. This is one of the first times we see that the Edomites are starting to come against us and not be brotherly toward us. So why are you expecting them not to be why are you expecting them to be nice to you now? So what you have here is the Gentiles, Edomites, not wanting to help the children of Yashala. They're already being used to punish them. What are we doing? We complain against the Most High. He killing people. We don't appreciate what he did to us. And we mad because we don't got no figs. No pomegranates. We don't got no seed. We want some fruit. And what happens when they complain? The Most High is going to let them have some water now. Then they get the water. Now they start walking again. Hey, can we pass through? Nah, y'all can't pass through here. So now we see the punishment from the so-called white people is already starting to come on the children of Israel. And it never left us. And he says, what? I'm going to come after you with the sword. The same thing our father Isaac said, that Esau is going to live by the sword. So Esau said, I'm going to come after you, and meaning if you touch anything or come through here anyway, we're going to what? We're going to kill you. Now later on, we're going to go to Moabites trying to pass through Moab's territory, or King Og, Bashan's territory, right? And they gonna try to pull the same thing that Esau pulled, saying, well, nah, y'all can't pass through. Like, yo, bro, you ain't come from the same mother we came from. So on the strength of that, y'all won't let us pass through, we're gonna kill you. And we went to war with them and we killed them. The warriors that came out against us. So they tried to do what the Gentiles did, what Esau did. And he said, nah, bro, you have to die today. Without no delay. All right, your blood will spray. My garments get stained. All right, splattering and splashing, dripping on my garment like the rain. That's what's gonna happen. You see, it ain't happening yet, but it's about to happen. The Edomites got away with it, but then the other nations they're gonna try to come and do the same thing. All right, go ahead.
Verse 19. And the children of Yashala said unto him, we will go by the highway, and if I and my cattle drink of thy water, then I will pay for it. I will only, without doing anything else, go through on my feet. And he said, thou shalt not go through. And Adawam came out against him with much people and with a strong hand. Thus Adawam refused to give Yashala passage through his border, wherefore Yashala turned away from him.
All right, so Esau, he got away with this right here. All right, he got his little funky off. And we ain't starting no static with him either. All right. Remember, they blessing, they think that they got from the father Isaac was by the sword. Live by the sword. And he's still doing that now. They live by the sword. Okay. So now we're going to go through verse 22, 20, Numbers chapter 20, 22 to Numbers chapter 21, verse 9. With Amara. We'll wait for him though. Numbers 20, verse 22 through Numbers 21, verse 9. All right. Amadwa. You should be called it, really. Belakwa. Yeah, Barakakam Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Hamashayah. Numbers chapter 20, verse 22 through 21:9. Go ahead. Numbers 20 and 22 through 21:9. Read a little louder too.
And the children of Yashar'alah, even the whole congregation, journeyed from Kadesh and came unto Mount Hor.
The Mount Hor is Har Hahar. It means mountain, the mountain. It's like a real mountain. When your name is Mount, you're a big mountain, or powerful mountain, or famous mountain. Okay, so this is Mount Hor. Hor is Hahar. Hor is Hahar. So it's Mount. Okay.
And the house spake unto Moshe and Aharon in Mount Hor, by the coast of the land of Edom, saying, Aharon shall be gathered unto his people, for he shall not enter into the land which I have given to the children of Yashar'alah, because ye rebelled against my word at the water of Meribah.
So Moses like, okay, we're gonna deal with this issue of Aharon now. That's what you see about the Most. His judgment is always swift. Our judgment delayed. It's drawn out. The Most now we're gonna deal with this now. Okay, over it. What you just did, Aaron, I'm gonna kill you now for it. Him and Moses with the rock. He was held responsible for that too. He was held responsible for Moses to the rock, being told to speak to the rock and then hitting it. And then say, must we bring forth water for y'all too, and complain? Aaron's like, yo, chill, B. Chill, man. Most I ain't say do all that. Speak to the rock, man. Don't get it. Don't hit the rock, man. Chill out, relax, man. It's all right. Most I brought us this far, man. He gonna leave us. But don't give me a flesh, man. Stay in the spirit, man. See that? He ain't do that. He like, it's like the golden calf. So, yo, man, you doing too much, Aaron. You gotta go. You gotta die now, man. This is the last straw. Most I wasn't playing. Aaron was a good priest, good man. But sometimes Levi just go with the flow. We all know that. Sometimes Levi just go with the flow. Somebody come in with something different. Levi just flow along with it. Stop, Kyle. All right, go ahead.
Take Aharon and Eleazar his son.
Take Aaron and Eleazar, which means help of the power. Go ahead.
And bring them up unto Mount Hor.
Bring them up into the mountain. Read.
And strip Aharon of his garment.
So take the garments that are used for the priesthood off of Aaron. Read.
And put them upon Eleazar his son.
And put them on Eleazar his son. Why did his son get it, Eleazar? So that he would become the what? The high priest now. So he about to become the high priest. You see that? Aaron's son, high priest. Levi now don't know they Aaron's son. So how can you call yourself a priest or a high priest? Making stuff up. Go ahead.
And Aharon shall be gathered unto his people, and shall die there.
Die where? In Mount Hor. Go ahead.
And Moshe did as Yahweh commanded, and they went up into Mount Hor, and recited with all the congregation. And Moshe stripped Aharon of his garments, and put them upon Eleazar his son. And Aharon died there. Aharon died there in the top of the mount. And Moshe and Eleazar came down from the mount. And when all the congregation saw that Aharon was dead, they mourned for Aharon 30 days.
So we were sad, and we had like a mourning ceremony for 30 days once we saw that the Most High had killed Aaron. Kalashara.
It's not the end yet.
Oh, go ahead.
Even all the house of Yash'Allah,
Oh, my bad. Okay.
Kashra,
Kalashara.
Bar Hala,
The body Yahweh.
Na'asha,
Naisha.
Nashla,
Wanashami.
all that Yahweh said,
Oh, Yahweh said.
we will give him.
What are you doing here? All right. Numbers 21, verse 1 through 9.
And when King Arad, the Canaanite, which dwelt in the south, heard tell that Yash'Allah came by the way of the spies, then he fought against Yash'Allah and took some of them prisoners. And Yash'Allah vowed a vow to Yahweh and said, if thou wilt indeed deliver this people into my hand, then I will utterly destroy their cities. And Yahweh hearkened unto the
They're going to kidnap our people. Like a bandit or something. Go ahead.
And Yahweh hearkened
So Israel did what? Vowed a vow. We talked about vows last night. If you would do this, then I would do this. That's what the vow was. All right. Go ahead.
And Yahweh hearkened to the voice of Yash'Allah and delivered up the Canaanites, and they utterly destroyed them in their cities.
Mm-hmm.
And he called the name of the place Hormah. And they journeyed from Mount Hor by the way of the Red Sea to compass.
Now, the Red Sea is supposed to be the Sea of Reeds, remember. It doesn't say red in the Hebrew. It says reeds, which are little stalks that grow from the water. So the Red Sea was not red. It was reeds. When they translated it, they left off one of the E's, and they put the reed. They put the Red Sea instead of the Reed Sea. When you read the Hebrew, it's clear. Yeah? And that's why, listen, that's why when you have these new Bible translations, they're like in the book of Enoch, right? Check this out. The book of Enoch, they say, is so old. The book of Jubilee is so old. And it's the hidden book of the Most High. Well, how come they made the same translation error? You see that? How come they made the same translation error? How come they didn't say the Sea of Reeds? Where's the other book at, y'all? The Bible that has the Samaritan and the Hebrew inside of it. Is it right here in this box right here? Whose notebook is this? Mm-hmm. You can keep it in if you want, but that's why you use it that much. Okay, I'm gonna find this book, y'all. But go ahead and continue reading.
To compass the land of Edom.
And what is that verse you're reading right now?
Which 4?
Let's say the Red Sea. Numbers 21 and 4. Okay.
And the soul of the people was much discouraged because of the way. And the people spake against Hiram.
So what happened? Read that again. They were discouraged. Why?
Because of the way.
Mm-hmm.
And the people spake against Hiram and against Mashah. Wherefore have you brought us up out of Egypt to die in the wilderness? For there is no bread, neither is there any water, and our soul.
I go again, man, complaining. You just seen the Most High do a miracle. The man just brought water out of a rock, and y'all complaining again, right? Stop complaining, man. Be grateful for what you got. Now, did you read anything about anybody said, good looking out Moses on that water? Anybody say that? Anybody said nothing about Moses good looking out for that water, man? Okay.
And Yahweh set fiery serpents among the people.
You see now right here in the Hebrew, it says Yom. It says Yom Sawat, which means the water of reeds. Okay. Sawat, Yom Sawat. It says, read that part again. Read verse 4 again.
And they journeyed from Mount Hor by the way of the Red Sea to compass.
So it says Wayasa Iwa which means they went or walked, journeyed. Mahar, from the mountain. Hahar, from Mahar, from mountain. Hahar, the mountain. Darak, which means walking or path. Okay. Yom, Yom or Yam, which means water. Okay. It says Sawat. Okay. And then it says La Sabab, to surround or to go around. Af, to or toward. Arataza, the land of Adawam. Okay. Land of Adawam. So that's what it says right here in the Hebrew. You see that? All right. So it says right here, see? It says Yam Sawat. Right? Everybody see that? Yam Sawat. You see that? Yam Sawat. You see that? You see that? Yam Sawat. All right, can you see that? Yam Sawat. Can you see that? Yam Sawat. All right. See that? Right there. What y'all saw? Everyone? Hard. Yeah, hard. You rusty, man. You rusty. How the old man can read it better than the young man? Oh, because the old man studies it. The young man don't. You gotta study it, man. In the Hebrew. You see? So the point I'm making is this. Okay? I think you should hold on to this. So it says Yam Sawat. What does that mean? What that means is that when you look in the Hebrew, whether you're talking about, because this Hebrew, look, this is the Masoretic text, what they call the Jewish, and the Samaritan also. You see that? So it's both two versions of the Hebrew with no English. No English. And that's why people don't use this book, because there's no English in it. Because you got to either go to an English Bible that got to interlinear and compare it, or you got to recognize and see what the Hebrew words are. Which I can't read perfect Hebrew, but I can know and identify certain words in Hebrew and know when it don't say what I read in the English. Okay? Because we got two ways to say red in Hebrew, right? We got Adawam, that's one way. Then we got scarlet, which is what? Shanaya. It's scarlet, a deep red. We got two kinds of different reds that we can say. Shanaya and red. So the red dragon is Adawam dragon, right? So now, what's the point I'm making to you? I know we took a little side break, but I'm gonna get back to it in a minute. The point I'm making is that when you go into the book of Enoch, when you go into the book of Jubilees, when they say the Red Sea, if they use Hebrew text to write these books, how come these books got the same mistakes that we find in the English Bible, but when we look in the Hebrew, it got the right word? You understand what I'm saying? That makes sense what I'm saying to you? So that means that the book of Enoch was not translated or written in or from the Hebrew. You might can find them little fragments of these books, different places or whatever, but you don't have no intact place. Just from that fact alone, I know that they relied on the Hebrew, because every English Bible out there says the Red Sea, the Red Sea, the Red Sea. Every English Bible says the Red Sea. Every English Bible says the Red Sea. Okay. And even when we go into the let's see, Numbers 21 and 4, right? And that's one of the reasons I don't forward the book of Enoch and the book of Jubilee, because they got too many doctrine discrepancies and they got too much stuff that they say in the English that don't agree with the Hebrew. How you gonna have a lost book that doesn't agree with the Hebrew? All right, y'all stop that over. What y'all doing, little girls? Writing on hand. Numbers 21 and 4, right? Amaria. Okay. Let me see your thing real quick. No. Okay, y'all, let me show y'all something real quick. Why are you sitting that way? You totally don't need to be facing that way for like no reason whatsoever. And even in the Spanish, it says the Mar Bermejo. And the Bermejo is like a shade of red. Let me pull your things back up. Okay, Bermejo. So even they was cheating using some other text besides the Hebrew, because the Hebrew clearly says right here. It says Yom Sawap. That's what it's in Hebrew. All right, Yom Sawap. That's what the inside the Hebrew. What's that? Kuma? Pass it to me, please. Oh man, you got that Elam jumping off over there, man. Coming through that fan with you. All right, Numbers 21 and 4, right in the Hebrew, right here. See that? It says, even in the Chumash, it says Yam Sawap, sea of reeds. You ain't believe me, did you? You ain't believe me, did you? See, say sea of reeds. See that? So when it says Red Sea, that was a translation mistake, not a transcribing mistake. It said sea of reeds. It said Reed Sea, but when they translated it, they took out one of the E's and put Red Sea in English. Now, I don't know how they got the wrong one in the Spanish. You got Spanish in 1569, La Biblia del Oso. They probably was cheating using another, maybe they use a Latin text. I don't know what the Latin text says, so I don't know. Septuagint, I think Septuagint says Reed Sea or Reed Sea, yeah. Okay. So anyway, the point is that we have to be careful when we use these biblical texts. Make sure that the text that we're using is accurate. That's why we have to look at the Hebrew. If not always, at least from time to time, read through it or get an interlinear Chumash that has the Hebrew on one line, and then underneath of it they have the Hebrew. The English or the Spanish, and then you can get compare the different texts, even compare the Hebrew text. And you might use a book that's all Hebrew, so it doesn't have any Spanish or English translation in it. It's just all Hebrew. Now it's gonna take a while for you to be able to read through every single one. Okay, it's gonna take a while for you to be able to read through every single one. Okay, but you still have to put the effort into doing it. You have to read the Hebrew text of your ancient writings. Okay? All right, finish reading, Mark. Call your chapter and verse.
Numbers chapter 21, verse 6.
Uh-huh.
And Yahweh sent fiery serpents among the people, and they bit the people. And
Man, he sent some snakes to people. Man, we just making him all kinds of mad, ain't we? Man, these people have really made me upset. So I'm gonna send most high creative too. I'm gonna send some serpents down there that's fiery to punish them. Go ahead.
And much people of Yasha'Allah died.
So many people died. Go ahead.
Therefore the people came to Mashah and said, We have sinned, for we have spoken against Yahweh.
So now they come into the Most High saying, yo, we sorry. Right, we sorry. You know, we spoke against the Most High. We spoke against what the Father said, our Heavenly Father. I read.
And against thee. Pray unto Yahweh that he may take away the serpents from us.
Mm-hmm. So now pray to the Most High, because we know that the Most High is with you, man. All right, go ahead.
And Mashah prayed for the people. And Yahweh said unto Mashah, Make thee a fiery serpent and set it upon a pole.
You supposed to stop at what? Okay, go ahead.
And it shall come to pass.
So make a snake and put the snake on the pole. Go ahead.
That everyone that is bitten, when he looketh upon it, shall live.
So you look upon it, you live. So everyone that looks to Yahushua, that got crucified up high for us, shall live and have eternal life. That's what the serpent right here is a foreshadow of. Foreshadow. Everybody know, if you know what foreshadow is, raise your hand. If you don't know what foreshadow is, raise your hand. Foreshadow is like you see in the history, the Most High talks about the serpent and the snake. But now the same way the people looked at that serpent and the snake and they got healed, it's actually going into the future when we look to Yahushua and we get healed and we live. We get eternal life and we don't die. We don't go into the lake of fire. You understand that? Everybody understand that? So we don't get punished. We don't die for those things. We get forgiveness for them. So the foreshadow is we see that Yahushua, who is a dark brown skinned man, who is what you would call black, dark skinned man with woolly hair, white woolly hair, right? So Christ is what we would call black with woolly hair, okay? Which is the tribe of Judah, so-called Black Americans, right? Everybody understand that? So he's a dark-skinned man with very woolly hair and very dark skin. And the scripture says in the book of Isaiah, chapter 53, what did it say? There is no what in him that we should look upon him, we should desire when we look upon him. There was no beauty in him, scripture said. So Christ wasn't just a good, handsome, good-looking, gorgeous black man like everybody want to act like he was. No, scripture said Christ was basically ugly. Isaiah 53. So you look at him, you were looking at him and listening to him because of what he was saying, not because of his appeal. Okay? So the scripture says that when Yahushua was lifted up, it was just like how Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness. So now Yahushua is like that serpent in the wilderness now. That was lifted up for us to look to get salvation. All right, read.
And Mashah made a serpent of brass.
Mashah made a serpent of brass. Go ahead.
And put it upon a pole.
Uh-huh.
And it came to pass that if the serpent had bitten any man, when he held When he beheld the serpent of brass, he lived.
Okay, so you look at serpent of brass, he lived. Go ahead.
No.
Okay. I saw live in verse 8. Looked upon that serpent, and then he lived again. Okay. So that's what happened. That's what happened with Moses and the people. So the Most High, even when he punishes us, he still makes a way for us to get, to stop the punishment, to ask him to please have mercy on us. We're sorry for what we did. And he made a way of escape. But he made that way of escape through Moses, Mashah. That was the one that he was working through to hear our prayer. Now, the one he's working through to hear our prayer now is who? Yahushua. Everything that Moses is doing, Yahushua is doing it on a higher level. So people say, oh, no man can't die for your sins, or no man can't intercede for you. Nah. The scriptures clearly state that he was going to die for our sins. In Isaiah 53 and in Psalms chapter what was it, 72 or 71? Huh? Okay, Psalms chapter 72. So we have to know and understand about Yahushua when we read the scripture. And that's what Yahushua did. He went into the Bible and he showed them, this is what the Father said. This is what Isaiah said. This is what David said. This is how I fulfilled, how I completed the words of the prophet. I completed the words of Moses. Of Moses. I did exactly as the scripture said I was going to do. Which when people be like, wow, this dude really is the Messiah. He really is the Savior. He doing everything the Bible said the Messiah was going to do. That's why there's no reason why people should reject Yahushua. But they've always been out there. All right. Let me see. Let me get the next thing is okay, Amar yes, you're gonna give us verse 10 through 20. And Hans gonna give us 21 through 1. Okay. Okay. So you're gonna do 10 through Numbers 21, verse 10 through 20. And God will give us Numbers 21, verse 10 through Numbers 21, verse 21. Okay, through 22 and 1. I want you to read that first verse. When you go up there, read, I want you to read the first verse in Hebrew. Y'all got to get back to the Hebrew. Is it 10 through 20, then we're going to do 21 in Hebrew. No, he's reading 10 through 20, right? Or you doing 21? Okay, you can do 21 and 22. That's what you were saying. You want to do 21 and 22. Everybody, no problem with that. That's cool. See? All right. Well, go ahead. And you supposed to be calling it because you supposed to call it after he called his. Yeah, but I call you how about Shem Yahushua Hamashayak. All right. So you're gonna give us chapter 21, verses 10 through 20. All right. But give us verse Quara'a. You do 10 and Ibadia. Y'all read that? Read the Ibadia, read the Hebrew. Yeah, the rest of the let's go. Come on the right side. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Come back over here, man. Why you all me out there? Come on over. Get in front of get on the other side of that. Now, go ahead.
Wayamash.
Mm-mm. The mem is gonna be square at the bottom. This is rounded at the bottom. That's a samak.
Wayasa.
E or I? One of the two.
Wayasa I. Wayasa I.
So it ain't with the same letter to begin with.
Wayasa Iowa.
Wayasa Iowa and Journey.
Banya. Yasha Allah.
He Prince Power.
Waya.
That's Kayaf, Lawan, and Wawa.
Wayakanwa.
Wayakanwa, and they encamped,
Ba.
which means in.
Ba. Ba'ad.
By what?
Ba'ad. Ba.
Hmm?
Ba'abu. Ha.
By Abath.
Ba'aba.
Okay. All right. Journey, and they journeyed, sons Yasha'Allah, and they encamped, where they set up in Abath. All right. I read 11 through 20. Next time I'll just give you this one to read for you.
And they journeyed from Abath and pitched in Ija'abarim in the wilderness, which is before Moab, toward the sun rising.
That place means wasteland.
From thence they removed and pitched in the valley of Zered. And from thence they removed and pitched on the other side of Arnon, which is in the wilderness that cometh out of the coast of the Amorites. For Arnon is the border of Moab, between Moab and the Amorites. Wherefore it is said in the book of the wars of Yahweh, what he did in the Red Sea and in the brooks of Arnon, and at the stream of the brooks that goes down to the dwelling of Ar, that lieth upon the border of Moab. And from thence they went to Beer.
So this is going into the journeys, the travels, the paths, okay, and where they camped at, where they set up at. Go ahead.
That is the well whereof the house spake unto Mashah. Gather the people together, and I will give them water. Then
Gather the people together.
Then Yasha'Allah sang this song: Spring up, O well, sing ye unto it.
Mm-hmm.
The princes dig the well, and the nobles of the people digged it by the direction of the lawgiver with their staves. And from the wilderness they went to Mattanah, and from Mattanah to Nahaliel, and from Nahaliel to Bamoth, and from Bamoth in the valley that is in the country of Moab to the top of Pisgah, which is looked toward Jeshimon.
Okay. All right. Very good. So you got 21 through 1, right? Okay. All right. Yeah, you go first. Wait.
Amadwa.
Let me do it again.
Kahan ban Parzah ban Gad ban Yashar.
Kahan ban Gal ban Parzah ban Yasha'Allah. Mala. Barak.
Yabarakakam Yahweh Bashem Yahshua.
Yabarakaka Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Hamashayak.
All right.
Yahweh Shema Alatah. All right, so do your first verse. Verse 21.
Wayashalach Yasha'ala.
And was it? And he sent Yasha'Allah. Yashalak means he sent, right? Sent, no, took, right?
What sent?
Sent, yeah. Sent.
Mala'akim.
So, and Yasha'Allah sent Mala'akim. What's Mala'ak? What's Malak and what's Mala'ak? Those two Hebrew words.
Malak is king.
Malak is king.
Mala'ak is messenger.
Mala'ak is messenger.
Or translated as angel sometimes.
What's the most common translation of Mala'ak in the Bible? In English? Angel. All right? So Malak is king. And Mala'ak is messenger. Okay? And Mala'ak, king is like a messenger with one alap taken away. Okay? Because the king is Malak. Messenger is Mala'ak. So messenger is Mayam, Lamad, Alap, and then Kap. 4 letters, Mala'ak. King is Mayam, right? Then Lamad. And then straight to the Kap. No Alap is in there. Malak, Kap. Okay? So start from that verse again. From the top.
Wayashalach.
And he sent, when they sent,
Yasha'ala.
Israel, he prince power. Go ahead.
Mala'akim.
Mala'akim, which is messengers. Al, which means unto.
Sayakan.
Sayakan, which is Sihon. Go ahead.
Malak.
Malak, which is king. Go ahead.
Ha'amariah.
Ha'amariah. To the Amorites. Go ahead. La'amar, which means and saying.
Ha'ibara.
Okay. Ibaria, which means Ibar, Yath.
Ibara.
Ibara. Ibara. All right. Okay, which means I'm gonna pass. Go ahead.
Ba'aratazaka.
Ba, which means in. This case, it says through. Aratza. Ka. Land your. Go ahead.
La'a.
I will not or no.
Nata.
Nata.
Or Napa. I think it's Napa.
Napa, go ahead.
Bashada.
Okay. You sure that's not a sabab?
The one I just read?
Yeah.
After La'a?
Yeah.
Come.
It doesn't say sabab?
La'a. I said Nasa.
Meaning to turn. I'm sorry. What verse you in? 22?
22. Fourth word.
Yeah, this one has a verse. You know, there's some text missing from the.
Read it?
Yeah.
No, I read it. The other one.
From the Masoretic. Well, Yashalak, Yasha'Allah, Mala'akim, Al, Sayakan, Malak, Ha, Amadia, La'amar, Aibara, Ba'aratzaka, La'a, Nasa, Nata. Nata, turn, go ahead.
Bashada.
Well, that's like a plain or flat area, which means like a field, go ahead.
Bakaram.
Or your vineyard, place of vine growth, go ahead.
La'a.
I would, or no.
Nashata.
Na shata. I will not drink.
Maya.
Water.
Ba'ar.
from the well. Is it by our well? Yeah.
By the rock,
Mm-hmm.
Hamalak.
Okay, from the path. Read that part again. La'a what? La'a nashita. Read that again.
La'anashata, Maya,
Read that. Not
Ba'ar,
drink waters.
Ba'ar,
From of the wells
by the rock,
of the way
Hamalak,
of the king.
Nalak,
We walk.
Aid,
Until
Ashar,
Asherah,
Asherah,
until that which
Na'ibar,
we pass. Uh
Gabalak.
huh. Your borders. It doesn't say Ba Gabalwa.
Uh,
Okay. Okay, Gabalka, not Gabalak.
Gabalak.
Because usually when you see ka on the end of the word, and you know it's a possessive, it's not going to be blended with the rest of the word. It's going to be set apart from the rest of the word, not blended with it. So if you say Sapar Ka, your book, you're usually not going to say Saparak because the thoughts are together, but it's still separate. It's still book, your. It could be Sapar Ya, your book, or Sapar Ka. It could be Sapar Ya, my book, Sapar Ka, your book, Sapar Nawa, okay? Our book, okay? But now over here, like we got to go through. It says, okay, I guess you read English now.
Verse
20,
23.
21. You did 21, 22, and 23.
And Sihon would not suffer Yasha'Allah to pass through his border, but Sihon gathered all his people together and went out against Yasha'Allah into the wilderness and came to Jahaz and fought against Yasha'Allah. And Yasha'Allah smote him with the edge of the sword and possessed his land from Arnon unto Jacob, or unto Jabbok, even unto the children of Ammon, for the border of the children of Ammon was strong.
She's asking for somebody, probably. What's she doing? I'm sorry, read that again.
And Yasha'Allah smote him with the edge of the sword.
You see that? So now the Moabites the Ammonites try to say, nah, y'all can't come through here. You seen what happened with Edom, and y'all was too punked to fight against the Edomites when they didn't let you pass through, so you can't pass through here either. And we said, okay, for real? All right, B, we're going to see what we're going to do. And we started to kill them. We killed them. We took the sword and we cut them. We cut the people because they won't let us pass. You see that? They won't let us pass through. So we cut them. We had to cut them. We cut the people. We killed the people with the sword because they won't let us pass through the land. They want to come to war with us. You want to make war? You want to make uno go to war? You want to make Allah uno know who that we? Uno want to make war. Go ahead.
And possessed his land from Arnon.
So then we fought them, then we took the land. Go ahead.
Unto Jabbok, even unto the children of Ammon.
Mm-hmm.
For the border of the children of Ammon was strong.
Mm-hmm.
And Yasha'Allah took all these cities, and Yasha'Allah dwelt in all the cities of the Amorites, in Heshbon and all the villages thereof. For Heshbon was the city of Sihon, the king of the Amorites, who had fought against the former king of Moab, and had taken all his land out of his hand, even unto Arnon. Wherefore that they came, they speak in Proverbs, saying, come into Heshbon, let the city of Sihon be built and prepared. For there is a fire gone out of Heshbon, a flame from the city of Sihon. It hath consumed Ar of Moab, and the lords of the high places of Arnon. Woe to thee, Moab, thou art undone, O people of Keshma. He hath given
Kimash.
O people of Kimash. He hath given his sons that escaped and his daughters into captivity unto Sihon, king of the Amorites.
Kimash was the false god that they worshipped. Yeah.
We have shot at them Heshbon is perished even unto Dibon, and we have laid them waste even unto Nopah, which reacheth unto Medeba. Thus Yasha'Allah dwelt in the land of the Amorites.
So we took that land of the Amorites and we dwelt in their territory for a while. Right?
And Yahweh and Mashah sent spy, and Mashah sent to spy out Jazir, and they took the villages thereof and drove out the Amorites that were there. And they turned and went up by way of Bashan, and Og, the king of Bashan, went out against them, and he and all his people to the battle at Edrei. And Yahweh said unto Mashah, fear him not, for I have delivered him into thy hand, and all his people and his land. And thou shalt do to him as thou didst unto Sihon, the king of the Amorites, which dwell at Heshbon. So they smote him, and his sons, and all his people, until there was none left alive, and they possessed his land.
So they wanted to come out and fight against us, but we said, Moses said, nah, I'm gonna give Yahweh said, I'm gonna give y'all the victory over all of them. And we smashed all of our enemies in battle. You feel me? So we killed everybody that came against us when Yahweh was on our side. Go ahead.
Kala Shirah,
the body Yahweh,
Na'asha,
Na'isha,
Wanashaman. All that Yahweh has said,
all that Yahweh said,
what we do in here.
what we do in here.
Numbers chapter 22, verse 1. And the children of Yasha'Allah set forward and pitched in the plains of Moab on this side Jordan by Jericho.
Okay. Do Judges 11, 1 through 33.
Judges chapter 11.
Now this is getting into there's a lot of better verses on there. I don't know how they relate the vow to this week.
They're making war against Ammon.
Fighting now, Ammon today is the so-called Japanese. Those are the Japanese people, Ammon. And the Moabites are the Chinese people. Right? Those are the Chinese people today. All right. Moab, the Chinese, and Ammon, those are the Japanese people today. Okay. Chinese and Japanese. So now we just fought against a Japanese king, Ammonite king. This is before they got to Japan and China. All right. So now they got the land. So now they got the territories now. So now what we're gonna do is years later, we start to fight against some of the people of Ammon again. And that's what Judges chapter 11, verses 1 through 33 is about. Go ahead. What's that called?
Now Jephthah, the Gileadite.
Now who?
Jephthah, the Gileadite was a mighty man of valor, and he was the son of a harlot. And he was the son of a harlot, and Gilead begat Jephthah, and Gilead's wife bare him sons.
Hold on, so Jephthah the Gileadite was the son of a harlot. Okay. And Gilead begat Jephthah.
And Gilead's wife bare him sons.
Okay.
And his wife's sons grew up, and they thrust out Jephthah, and said unto him, thou shalt not inherit our father's house, for thou art the son of a strange woman. Then Jephthah fled from his brethren and dwelt in the land of Tob.
So he was with his father, right? So he was with his father. So when he was born from this harlot, the Zanah. Now, what is a Zanah? A man can tell me what is a Zanah? Somebody tell me what a Zanah is. Kahan?
A woman who's had sex with more than one man.
So a widow is a zanah if she remarries?
Circumstantially.
No. Close. Close. Zanah. Let's start from the beginning. Okay, woman is pure. She's a virgin. Okay. Now, how can she become a zanah?
Having sex with someone she was married to.
All right, so
Does it get married to?
all right, so that's how she becomes zanah. So a woman becomes zanah by having sex with a man that isn't and doesn't become her head. Okay, her ayash. That's how one becomes a zanah. So Jephthah the Gileadite, okay, was a son of a harlot. Okay. Now Gilead who is Gilead? We all reading the same book right now, right? We all hear the same words, right? So who is Gilead?
A mighty man of valor.
Just Jephthah. So Gilead was a son of a harlot. I'm sorry, Jephthah was the son of a harlot, and Gilead beget Jephthah. So Gilead is the father of Jephthah. Okay? So Jephthah the Gileadite was a mighty man of valor. He was the son of a harlot. That means that his mother and his father wasn't together. Oh, excuse me, that means that his mother was a woman that had laid with a man, at least one man, and that man didn't become her husband. Or she was laying with men for material gain, no matter what the reason is. Okay? And I read verse 2 again.
And Gilead's wife bare him sons.
So Gilead's wife. Now remember, Gilead already had a baby with who? Who did Gilead have a baby by? An unnamed harlot, a woman that was a zanah. But then Gilead also had a what?
Wife.
Eventually, at some point, before or after the zanah, he had a wife. He was married to a woman. So that means he went to the woman and the woman became his possession for life. Okay? So, and Gilead's wife had children, sons. Read.
And his wife's sons grew.
So apparently, Gilead was around the same, Jephthah was around the same age as or older than these women. So where's Jephthah living at? He living with his father's house, right? So I had a discussion with Yahushai, and we'll call y'all brothers by name too. Had a discussion with Mbanyawada, and I said the son of a harlot does not belong to the harlot or the harlot's father or the zanah's father. It belongs to that man because that's man's seed. And they said no, it belongs to the father. It belongs to the father of the zanah because the zanah is out of order, but she's supposed to be under her father. But if she's not under her father and she's out of order, that baby she had still belongs to the zanah's father. I said no, that don't make sense because that son, whether he's a son of a zanah or not, he still got a right to his father's family and his inheritance from his father. That's what I said. Because even when Abraham had babies with the concubines, he still gave them an inheritance when he died. He gave them gifts or something, parting gifts, you know. So now it tells us that Jephthah was in his father's house, even though he was the son of a what? Of a what? Of a what? Amari, give me the right word, Amari. He was the son of a zanah. Zayan, Nawan Ha'ah. Okay? He was the son of a Zanah. Zanah is the woman that lays with a man and does not make that man her husband. You see it being called a harlot in the Bible, and it's also called a whore in the Bible. So do not be a whore, do not be a harlot, do not be a zanah. All right? If you are, put on a regular way, because that way it looks too. Sure, I fix that for her. If you are Asian, if you are, okay, if you are a zanah in this community or this household, okay, you will be in trouble. A lot of trouble, more than what it's worth. Okay? So now, that's the point I want to bring out. That this Zanah had a baby. And the baby went to the house of his father. Okay? Went to the house of his father. Oh, go ahead. Finish reading. And so they said, man, when they got older, they started hating on their brother. Like, man, your mother was a strange woman, bro. You get out of that house. We don't want you living in our house no more. All right, read.
And they said unto him, thou shalt not inherit in our father's house.
You see that? You're not going to even be around to get your inheritance. Because they know if he was there, he would what? Get his inheritance. So even though he was the son of a whore, he still got inheritance from his father, and he was still being raised in his father's house. So when Ban Yahudah and Yahushua had this conversation with them, and they said, no. I said, man, I don't even, just looking at the Bible, the seed always belongs to the man, no matter who he had it with. Now, we know sometimes that the women had seeds in their, back up, man. Kahan just told you about this plug and this cord in your foot, right? So we know that the women had, the two women before King Solomon had babies, and it was Zanah, right? Anissa, wrap it up in there. Had babies, and they went in the house. And they went with the father. Why? Probably because the father didn't take him. Probably didn't know who the father was, but in this case, we know who the father is. Jephthah, Gilead, you are the father. Okay? When it comes to the woman, when it comes to the son of the strange woman that had a Zanah, Jephthah, you are the father. Gilead, you are the father. Ooh, ooh. Look at that nose, Maury. This ain't no Ammonite nose. This ain't no Moabite nose. This is the noise of a Gileadite. All his brothers got the same nose, Maury. You see? That they knew that this was the father. When it comes to 30-year-old Jephthah, Gilead, you are the father. You got to get out of our father's house, man. We ain't going to inherit with our father, without us. The son of a strange woman. All right, go ahead.
Then Jephthah fled.
So Jephthah said, whatever, okay, I'm gonna leave y'all. Go ahead.
From his brethren.
So he left from his what?
His brethren.
So they were still considered to be his brothers. Read. So how can a man, so the brothers were all together. All right, go ahead.
And dwelt in the land of Tob.
Okay.
And there were gathered vain men to Jephthah, and went out with him.
Go ahead.
And it came to pass in the process of time that the children of Ammon made war against Yasha'alim.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so that when the children of Ammon made war against Yasha'alim, the elders of Gilead went out to fetch Jephthah out of the land of Tob. And they said unto Jephthah,
Jephthah, and that's what leadership does. They want to push you to the side when they don't like you or do something wrong. But then when they need you, now they want to bring you back. When they need you, then now they want to bring you back around. Certain stuff they want to take a vote on, certain stuff they don't want to take a vote on. Certain stuff they say, well, yeah, we can use them for that. They say, oh, we can't use them for that, though. Because that might be an embarrassment. We can use you to fight some wars for us to keep us from dying, but we don't want you to live. The elders didn't speak up for him when he got kicked out of his father's house, did they? But now they're gonna go and fetch him so he can go what? Put his life on the line. All right, go ahead.
And they came and they said unto Jephthah, come and be our captain, that we may fight with the children of Ammon.
So come and be the leaders of us when we go to this war, so we can fight against these Japanese. Crack that again now. Go ahead.
And Jephthah said unto the elders of Gilead, did ye not hate me?
Did y'all not hate me? Meaning you co-signed me getting kicked out. Turn on low. Turn on low. Go ahead.
And expel me out of my father's house.
So the elders, they said, had to approve and knew about them getting kicked out. Him getting kicked out of his father's house. Read.
Did ye not hate? And why are ye come to me now when ye are in distress?
Why you coming to me now, man? When you in distress. They kicked him out of town. Read.
And the elders of Gilead said unto Jephthah, therefore we will turn again to thee now, that thou mayest go with us and fight against the children of Ammon, and be our head over all the inhabitants of Gilead.
Yo, we'll make you the leader over the whole city, man. We sorry. Stop all of that. Go ahead.
And Jephthah said unto the elders of Gilead, if ye bring me home again to fight against the children of Ammon, and Yahweh delivered them before me, shall I be your head?
He said, so if I go and fight, so hold on, wait. You saying if I go to fight and I beat, that y'all gonna make me the leader, the head, the mayor, all right, the governor over all of the territory of Gilead. Is that what you're saying? Read.
And the elders of Gilead said unto Jephthah, Yahweh be witness between us if we do not so according to thy word.
That's all it took. They said Yahweh is our witness if we don't do that. Now they can't say, well, I didn't know, or I was under stress, or we were scared, or I had my fingers crossed. They can't say none of that. It doesn't say a vow, but now they got to keep their word. Even if you make a decision in a desperate situation, well, yeah, we said it, man, because we didn't want to die, but we didn't really mean it. They can't say that, can they? Once they gave their words, that's it. Once they gave their word, that was it. She really don't know I'm staring at her. So once they gave their word, that was it. Wasn't no, oh yeah, we're gonna stop, and we was just under stress, man. All right, go ahead.
Then Jephthah went with the elders of Gilead, and the people made him head and captain over them. And Jephthah uttered all his words before Yahweh in Mizpah. Verse 12. And Jephthah sent messengers unto the king of the children of Ammon, saying, what hast thou to do with me, that thou art come against me to fight in my land? And the king of the children of Ammon answered with messengers of Jephthah, because Yasharallah took away my land when they came up out of Egypt, from Arnon even unto Jabbok and unto Jordan. Now therefore restore those lands again peaceably.
But bro, wait. We ain't take nothing from Ammon, first of all, man. Y'all came out, y'all want to fight against us on some old, Japanese wannabe samurai type of stuff, and we whooped y'all butt and we took the land. Case closed. We beat you fair and square. You approached us and said, we want to fight y'all, huh?
I said, we were just trying to pass through.
We were trying to get to fight Canaanites to take their land. We didn't want the Moabite or the Ammonite land, bro. We trying to go up to Chinese territory, Japanese territory. We ain't gonna have nothing to do with it. We're gonna be cut through. And then y'all people came out, on some old, rah-rah type stuff. Oh yeah, we're gonna get them. We're gonna blah, blah, blah. Like, for real, okay. And we beat their butts. And now, years later, here you come talking about give you something back peaceably. But once you get it back the same way we took it, through war. And when we see who God is gonna be powerful enough to make it happen. So that's what the Chinese was on. Now they want to restore it peaceably. All right? So if the white man was strong enough to come to America and steal the land from the Gadites, it is what it is. You can't really say they stole nothing. They fought for it fair and square, and we lost. And that's the story. Wasn't no, hey, you're being mean. You stole our land. Can you give it back, please? That's exactly what we see happening right now. Hey, you fought us for the land, and we lost. Can you give it back, please? Like, nah, you ain't getting nothing back, B. We killed you for this land. We ain't killed for nothing. You see? So they fought fair and square, lost it. Go ahead.
And Jephthah sent messengers again unto the king of the children of Ammon, and said unto him, Thus saith Jephthah, Yashar'Allah took not away the land of Moab.
No, we didn't take nothing from y'all. Go ahead.
Nor the land of the children of
We didn't
Ammon.
take no Japanese or no Chinese land. Read.
But when Yashar'Allah came up from Egypt and walked through the wilderness unto the Red Sea and came unto Kadesh, then messengers.
What we just read in verse chapter 21, right? Of Numbers. We sent messengers, go ahead.
Unto the king of Edom, saying, Let me, I pray thee, pass through thy land.
We asked the Edomites, can we go to the land? Read.
But the king of Edom would not hearken thereto.
But he said no. Go ahead.
And in like manner, they sent unto the king of Moab.
So now Edom, we ain't fight them, no. He didn't get that part of the story. We ain't fight them, no. All right, go ahead.
But he would not consent. And
So we asked the Moabites, let us through. Go ahead.
And Yashar'Allah abode in Kadesh.
Go ahead.
Then they went along through the wilderness, and compassed the land of Edom and the land of Moab, and came to the east side of the land of Moab, and pitched on the other side of Arnon.
East side, going to the east side. Go ahead.
But came not within the border of Moab, for Arnon was the border of Moab. And Yashar'Allah sent messengers unto Sihon, the king of the Amorites, the king of Heshbon, and Yashar'Allah said unto him, Let us pass, we pray thee, through the land into my place. But Sihon trusted not Yashar'Allah to pass through his coast.
So Sihon said, no, y'all can't pass through. King of the Ammonites, right? Go ahead.
But Sihon gathered all his people together.
And he wanted to fight somebody. Read.
And pitched in Jahaz and fought against Yashar'Allah.
Go ahead.
And Yashar'Allah and Yahweh Allah Hayakav, Yashar'Allah delivered Sinai and all his people into the hand of Yashar'Allah.
So Yahweh is the one that gave us the victory in that war. Come up a little closer. Yahweh on the other side. Oh, no, block that. Just between there and there. And Yahweh, so let's project that. Yahweh gave us that victory. Read.
And Yahweh Allah Hayakav, Yashar'Allah delivered Sihon and all his people into the hands of Yashar'Allah, and they smote them. So Yashar'Allah possessed all the land of the Amorites, the inhabitants of the country, and they possessed all the coast of the Amorites and Arnon, even unto Jabbok, and from the wilderness even unto Jordan.
So we fought for this land, man. Go ahead.
So now Yahweh Allah Hayakav, Yashar'Allah had dispossessed the Amorites from before his people Yashar'Allah. And shouldest thou possess it?
So Yahweh took this land from y'all, gave it to us, and you said now that you should get it? I don't think so. Go ahead. What's happening in Israel? Go ahead.
Will not thou possess which Chemosh thy God giveth thee to possess?
Well, didn't your little fake wannabe land? All right, so use that land that they gave y'all. Don't try to get land from us. Go ahead.
So whomsoever Yahweh Allah Hayakav shall drive out from before us,
So whoever Yahweh drives out from before our land,
then will we possess.
that we're going to possess that land. If Yahweh take you out of your land in war and give us the land, then we're going to possess the land. Read.
So now art thou anything better than Balak, son of Zippor, king of Moab? Did he ever strive against Yashar'Allah, or did he ever fight against them? While Yashar'Allah dwelt in Heshbon and in her towns, and in Aurora and her towns, and in all the cities that be along the coast of Arnon 300 years. Why therefore did you not recover them within that time?
Bro, you had 300 years to get this land back.
This is a really long reply.
Don't try to come. Remember, this is an official diplomatic envoy that's going to him. saying, did we not give you 300 years to come fight and get this land back? Why you ain't come get in 300 years, man? Get out of my face with that. Like Gad talking about give us. Remember, Gad, you had like how many years to get this land back, man? I'm sorry, Gad. We lost the land. We lost the land, man. White man took it over. Oh, well. We should have better soldiers. We should have better weapons. We should have better commanders. We should have better immigration policies. We should have built the wall. We should have built the wall. Keep all the European immigrants out. Them the only ones gave us troubles, the ones from you. All right, go ahead.
Wherefore I have not sinned against thee, but thou doest me wrong to war against me. Yahweh the judge be judged this day between the children of Yasha'al and the children of Ammon. Howbeit the king of the children of Ammon hearkened not unto the words of Jephthah, which he sent him. Then the spirit of Yahweh came upon Jephthah.
The spirit of Yahweh is coming now.
And he passed over Manasseh and passed over Mizpah of Gilead, and from Mizpah Gilead he passed over unto the children of Ammon.
Right.
And Jephthah vowed a vow unto Yahweh and said,
so Jephthah, he already should be getting the victory, man, but he gonna go on some extra stuff now. Most I was already with you when you got the land. So he's making a rash vow now. He's making a rash promise to the Most High. There's enough room for all three of y'all on. I don't see how y'all. Why is she in the corner right there? Why you in the corner right there? You want to be in the corner right there? Huh? Why you in there? Okay. I was asking her. All right, go ahead.
And Jephthah vowed a vow unto Yahweh and said, if thou shalt without fail deliver the children of Ammon into mine hands.
If you give me this land of the children of Ammon. No, I'm sorry. If you give me the blood, right? They said if you deliver the children of Ammon, right? Into my hand. If you give me the strength and the power to destroy these Ammonites in war, go ahead.
Then it shall be that whatsoever cometh forth of the doors of my house to meet me, when I return in peace from the children of Ammon, shall surely be Yahweh's, and I will offer it up for burnt offering.
See, that's what he said, whatever comes out of my house, I'm going to offer it to you as a burnt offering. Okay? He's going to offer it. Go ahead.
So Jephthah passed over the children of Ammon to fight against them, and Yahweh delivered them into his hands. And he smote them from Aroer, even till thou come to Meneth, even 20 cities, and unto the plain of the vineyard, with a very great slaughter. Thus the children of Ammon were subdued before the children of Yasha'al.
20 cities, right? That's crazy, right? Because this is the leader of a city fighting against a whole kingdom, Gilead, little piece of land, a town. They want the town areas back, right? So they're like, well, yo, so we fought against them and we beat 20 cities of their soldiers. Okay? So that's it for that. So now, when you're in a desperate situation, don't make a vow to the Most High of something that you can, regret later. Keep it real with the Most High, because you're gonna be held accountable for your words and stuff. You're gonna be held accountable for your words. Anybody got that? You're gonna be held accountable for your words. So don't make no rash vows. So we learned a lot. We learned about vows in here, and he's gonna have to complete the vow that he makes too. The first thing comes out of his house, which is it was his daughter, and he had to kill his daughter and offer her up as a sacrifice to the Most High.
His only daughter, no son, no other daughter, his only child.
Okay, so yeah, you can go all right, so he made that vow, but he had to pay for that vow with his daughter's life. Once again, Israel always got to go extra. See that? Another example. Yahweh, can you please deliver this land unto us again and give us the victory over these Ammonites like you did before? Instead of, oh, the first thing on my house, Lord, if you give me this, you let us have the victory of the Ammonites. The first thing on my house, Lord, I swear on everything I'm going to give it to you as a sacrifice. So, just, hey, can we have some water? No. Oh, we need some barbecue, and we don't got no pomegranates, and we need some cucumbers, and we need some salmons, okay? And we need some croakers, and we need some groupers, and all you need is water. Israel always gotta go extra for stuff, man. Like Pinky and Friday. Say it again. Say it again. Oh, one more time. Say it again. Going extra. Just extra for no reason. And the Most High said, okay, you want to go extra? I'm going to hold you accountable for that. So when you made that vow, couldn't nobody break that vow that man made. Number one. Number two, we said the harlot had the baby, but the baby went to the father. This is clear as day. Okay? It's clear as day. So at some point, her father was like, you know what? I ain't got nothing to do with that, what you do. At some point, her father had to not have nothing to do with the girl and her decision. She was held responsible for her own decisions at a certain point. All right? So that's what we see going on with Jephthah. So Jephthah talks about the land that got taken. He knows the history. All right? That shows you that shows you Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 8. That he asked his fathers and his elders, and they taught him what was going on. They taught him what was going on. They taught him the history, and he knew. Stop leaving alone. Okay? And he knew the history. So he said, this is how we got the land. See, everybody knew what was going on in these times. We knew our history. And we said, this is how we got the land. This is how it went down. And this is who came out to fight. Ammon was first. Moab, Ammon. And then before that, Edom tried to come out and said they was going to attack us, but we ain't really do nothing with them. Well, if y'all want to get down, we can get down. And we got down with Ammon. Swords and blood and everything. And Ammon lost, and we killed them. Their soldiers that they sent out died. Smoke. And what happened, when they went out and we fought, them dead men on that battlefield, all them people was unclean for 7 days after that. Okay. All right, so John 19. I'm on here. Verse 38 to 42. Oh, give me that phone again. Supposed to turn this way. Hey, stop playing around. Sit down and pay attention. Did he pull up the weekly journal on here? This is what I pulled up. I don't see one he pulled up. There you go. Okay, so this last portion is gonna be Yochanan 9, 19, 19, verse 38 through 42. Go ahead. Read loud.
And after this, Joseph of Arimathea,
Arimathea. Well, Arimathea, how we would say it. Go ahead.
Arimathea, being a disciple of Yahushua, but secretly for fear of the Jews, besought Pilate that he might take away the body of Yahushua, and Pilate gave him leave. He came therefore and took the body of Yahushua.
So Yahushua, Joseph wanted to bury Yahushua, prepare his body for burial. Go ahead. After Yahushua got died for our sins. Go ahead.
And there came also Nicodemus, which came. Now
remember, Nicodemus came, and Nicodemus is the one that Yahushua had that conversation with in John chapter 3, when he said, as Moses is lifted up, the way that the serpent was lifted up in the wilderness, even so the Son of Man is lifted up. So we see that serpent coming, the serpent story, history coming back with Nicodemus. And then we also see the laws about death that we read about, okay, in Numbers coming into play also. Okay.
Which at the first came to Yahushua by night, and brought a mixture of myrrh and aloes, about 100 pounds weight.
So he bought him so much expensive oils, okay, and expensive mixtures to get the body ready for the burial. Go ahead.
Then took they the body of Yahushua.
So Joseph and Nicodemus. Go ahead.
And bound it in linen clothes with the spices.
So they took the spices and they wrapped it up inside linen clothes, linen cloth. Wrapped Yahushua in linen cloth, and then they mix the spices in with them to cover the smell of the dead body. But now both of them are making themselves unclean now. Go ahead.
As the manner of the Jews is to bury.
So we used to bury people with spices and with linen wrapped around. Okay, go ahead.
Now the place where he was crucified.
Now the place where Yahushua was crucified. Go ahead.
There was a garden, and in the garden was a new sepulchre.
A sepulchre, which is like a tomb. Once again, we read about where the person was born at. Okay, so a place where the person was born at, a place where was buried at. Go ahead.
Wherein was never yet laid.
It was a new one, but it was in like a burial place. So now they Nicodemus and Joseph, they both became what? Tama'ah, from dealing with the dead body, going to places of the dead. Go ahead.
There laid they Yahushua, therefore, because of the Jews.
Read that again. Could you kind of read that again?
There laid they Yahushua, therefore, because of the Jews, preparation day for the sepulchre was not at hand.
So they laid him there because they had to get prepared for the holy day. All right. So even Yahushua was buried, and we put the aloes, and we put the myrrh mixture, and we put the linen. Okay. On them. And once we did that, then they got ready for the we put him inside the tomb, and it was over. And then 3 days later, thank Yahweh, he did what? He resurrected from the dead. Came back to life. Huh? He came back to life. So Shema Yashallah. Okay, so he came back to life. All right, so that will end the Torah portion and the half Torah portion and the portion from the scriptures after the birth of Yahushua. Okay. Cover a lot of themes today. The most I deals with order and he deals with structure. Order and structure. All right. He deals with order and he deals with structure. All right. So now what we have to do is take these words that we read today, put them into our spirit, and see how do we apply these words to the things that we have going on or the things that we're doing. Okay. All right. So that's it. So thank you, Howard, for giving us the understanding of his word, of his law. Now we will end the official holy convocation. All right. Now if anybody have any kind of comments or any kind of questions or any kind of feedback, speak now. What? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They use them more then than they do now. That long from where? They were before us. No, they were before us, so it's not them that remember, it's us that remember because they came before us. So we learned it from them. So we have to remember. They didn't have to remember, they already knew it. You understand? And plus the prophecy was put on the children of Israel and the Edomites that we were both going to be using swords. Okay? And in Genesis 27. Okay? Yahweh said to Israel, Yasha'Allah, he said, let me read it. This is Genesis 27. This is verse I'm sorry, I'm gonna read the one that he gave to Esau. He says 27, Genesis 27 and 20 and 39. And Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, unto Esau, unto Edom, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and thou shalt serve thy brother. See, that's what he said, by the sword, the white man, Esau, the Edomites, okay, we're gonna live. You see that? You hear that? All right, so that's how the sword became. And people still use the sword because they got to defend themselves. Father and men teach other men and women how to use the sword to defend themselves. What you want, Kai? You had your hand like this. Huh? Wait a minute. You're in order. Weren't you about to say something? But ask something. Okay. Who was that something to say? You had a turn already. Let her go. Yeah, Moses had children. Children we know about that Moses had was 2 sons. Yeah, we know one wife's name was Zipporah, which was a Midianite. The other wife we know was a Ethiopian woman, but we don't know her. We don't know her name in the scriptures. Mm-mm. No, it wasn't Keturah. Keturah is the wife of Abraham. That's Midian's mother. Okay. Any other question? What you want to say now? Or anything you find, so always have weapons in your hands. So use your hands and weapons. So always make sure. And then you want to make sure that you can have, where you live at, speaking about weapons and protecting yourself and your family and everything, and using your hands, you want to make sure that you have weapons set up before people get to you. You have traps set up that you can put in when you know people are going to try to attack you, so they can get sticks going through their bellies or nails and sharp sticks dropping down and hitting their bodies in the backs and stuff, and when they try to come into your property. So you don't want to wait until somebody gets on you and now, hey, we're going to fight. Now I want to stop you before you even come close to it. And these are the things that we're going to need in these last days, because it ain't going to be no more police after a little while. So people are going to be able to do whatever they want to do. Remember, Second Ezra chapter 15 says that men are going to respect they kings or their princes. So nobody's going to respect the authority of the government anymore. So the power you have to defend yourself is going to be based on whatever you have the power to do. What?
And you said sticks and things.
Sticks and what?
And sticks.
Sticks and loopers.
It reminded me of when I was reading the book that you gave me.
Was it the Conquest of the Indies by Bartolome de las Casas?
It said that the Indians, they dug holes in the ground and put sharp sticks in them, so when horses, when horses were riding, they were calling holes and sticks above their heads.
See, so if you're like in an area, that's a very creative way that we created over in the Americas to defend ourselves against the so-called white man and his horses.
And they covered it with sticks.
So we cover sticks, and then you can even have a field, and you could cut up the grass real thin grass, and then you can I don't like the way you're not paying attention, and you playing with stuff, and you turn in a direction where you're not supposed to be facing. I've said this to you like 2 or 3 times already. So I need you to give that back, because you shouldn't even have been dealing with it because your back was to them. All right? And then you were struggling with somebody, trying to pull it from somebody. That was inappropriate. And now you got it from them, now you got something to play with during the Shabath convocation, and that's inappropriate. So you way out of order right now. So you got to get yourself back in order before you get yourself in more trouble. You understand? So yeah, so they can take up a little bit of grass and put some little sticks over it, and then take more grass and just take a little layer of grass, put it back over it. But then you might have like a flower there. You put a flower there, put some sort of something there, so you know that something's there. If you see you might clear the whole field of cow doo-doo. If you see a pile of cow doo-doo, make sure you stay at least 10 feet from that cow doo-doo. Because the cow doo-doo is around areas where, you're gonna fall in. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so that's the type of things that you have to be worried about to protect yourself and your family. You know, even though in Vietnam they call them like tiger traps. They call them tiger traps. And they put sharp sticks in the ground, and then when the soldiers walk through, they would step inside the little tiger traps, and then they go through be like 50 sharp sticks under the ground. So when a person falls into it, all the sharp sticks go through different parts of their body, their foot, their leg, their stomach. So yeah, that's called guerrilla warfare. What they call it, guerrilla warfare, which means like a little warfare. Okay, so you have a larger army that's fighting against you. You have advantages. You can move quicker. You can move quieter. You can move in the dark without being detected, and you can do little things kind of fast that can cause a lot of damage. Okay, so you have to learn these things and how to use them to our advantage. Okay, how to use these things to our advantage as a nation, as a people, as a family, because the times of war is upon us. The time of peace is over. War is right at the door step, walking up the stairs about to knock. And when they say war, if you ain't ready or if you ain't with people that's ready, you know, you're gonna die. Especially if you're in these cities around here. If you're in these cities around here, you're gonna die. Because the water gonna be low, grocery store is gonna be shut down, food is not gonna be around. Like I always tell people, if there's no water, what's gonna happen to the doo-doo when you go to the bathroom? It's gonna sit there. It's gonna stink. And it's gonna produce bacteria and germs in the air. It's gonna make you sick. There ain't no medicine. So where's your water saved up, huh? I mean, here in Mexico, they cut the water off, what was that, 2 days, right? We didn't have water for about 2 days. And we had to have water saved up. You gotta have water saved up, or you gotta be ready to not to use water. So we had to take the buckets and let the water that's on the ground level just fill up the buckets. Then we had to use the bathroom and then pour the water into pour the buckets. Those your legs, little girl. We had to pour the water into the toilet for it to flush. But in Israel, Yashar, when we went to war, what did we do? We would dig a hole, go number 2 in a hole, and then cover the hole up. You see? And then down south, when we use the bathroom, we would take the corn cobs. When you eat the corn, then you let it dry, and then you use that to wipe yourself with. You have to wipe yourself with. And then use some water, you clean yourself off a little bit, real good, and you're done. Right? So that's how things can get done too. So there's many ways to do things, but you have to be ready and know how to do these things. So in the Bible, the thing we read today in the scriptures was about death of the heifer, the red cow, somebody dying on the battlefield or in the house. And then Jephthah, we read about going to war in the book of Judges. And then in John, we read about what? Death of Yahushua. So be prepared for death and be prepared because you might have to kill somebody for you and your family to survive. And this is part of our culture that people overlook. How to protect yourself and your family in easy and difficult situations. When they came to Jephthah, Jephthah was ready. Oh yeah, I'll be the captain, make me the king over the city. And Jephthah was what? Was in warfare. All right? Jephthah was ready to go to war. All right? Jephthah was ready to go to war. And he was ready to go to war. So we have to be what? ready to go to war. Moses, the Israelites, when it came to time to fight Moab and Ammon, we were what? Ready for war. So when you're an Israelite, Yasharallah, you gotta be ready for war. You gotta be trained in war, certain degrees of war, every person. Okay. All right. Any other questions? No? No questions? All right. We're gonna stop this broadcast now. So everybody needs to be looking at videos. Improvised guerrilla warfare. The tactics that the Vietnamese used when they fought against the Americans. All right. That's what the movie Spook Who Sat by the Door is about. And also, making sure that you have a good relationship with Yahweh. So if all else fails, you still got that supernatural favor with the Most High to intervene and to just destroy your enemies for you also. So not all just physical, it's spiritual also. It's spiritual preparedness. All right. Praying to the Most High, being in order with the Most High Yahweh, keeping His laws, commandments, and statutes, and walking in wisdom. Okay. Everybody got that? Okay. I'm pause this right now. Well, not pause, but stop.